people, it's your girl Minna. Welcome back to the channel. You already know what it is. Big up to everyone locked in. Monday afternoon vibes, daily dose of Minna, and it's a new era, a new dawn, if you want to call it that. The Ruben Amaram era officially starts today for Manchester United. Now, we've got a bit to talk about because we're going to talk about yesterday's game as Ruud van Nistelrooy caps off his interim period as the Manchester United manager with 3 wins and a loss. And they finished yesterday with a clean sheet, which I actually think is going under the radar a little bit. Big up to everyone. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe as well. Additionally, on top of that, when we talk about Ruud van Nistelrooy, of course, I think there's a decision incoming regarding whether he will stay on as a Manchester United assistant coach or not. We know that, and by the way, guys, can I just say, the internet is wild because how have people managed to track Ruben Amaram's flight? Forget even tracking Ruben Amaram's flight. How did they manage to obtain pictures of his luggage being put onto his flight? Him and his staff getting out of their car into the flight. They tracked the flight. People even took a video of a plane. I don't know if it's actually the plane that Ruben Amaram was on, but it's a plane that's flying over Manchester. And people are saying Ruben Amaram's flight flying over Manchester. Guys, he's going to come to Manchester United. We don't have to stalk him to see whether he's arrived or not. But he is here. He's at Carrington right now with his Manchester United coaches, assistant coaches, if you want to call it that. And I think a decision will definitely come sometime this week about Ruud van Nistelrooy. Now, on top of that, you know, we're going to talk about yesterday's game. We're going to talk about Amad Diallo's performance. There's some players that I think went under the radar. Of course, Ugarte had a phenomenal game, 4 games in a row that he's played now for Manchester United, and that's all come under Ruud van Nistelrooy. And it's no surprise that bit by bit, he's showing his uses. But a player that I think has been going under the radar quite a bit over the last couple of weeks is Matthijs de Ligt. Like, am I the only one that thinks that Matthijs de Ligt has been going under the radar? Players have been praised. You know, we've seen Mazraoui getting heaps of praise, and I too have been praising him. But I feel like the de Ligt praise has been very, very quiet. And he's been having a good couple of games for Manchester United. So we're going to talk about that. And of course, January is around the corner. So you lot already know transfer news is already starting up for Manchester United. And yesterday, L'Equipe, the French media outlet, linked Manchester United to make a move potentially for Christopher Nkunku. Now, life has not been what he anticipated it to be at Chelsea. He's been there, what now? Is it 2 seasons, 3 seasons? I think it's two-ish seasons that he's been there. Hasn't really hit the ground running. And it's funny because I thought at RB Leipzig, I thought Nkunku was a very good player. So to see him go on to basically become a null factor at Chelsea is very unfortunate. But we already know that Manchester United's interim recruiter or head of recruitment, if you want to call it that, had a little stint at Chelsea, had a little stint at RB Salzburg, and had a little stint at RB Leipzig. So I'm not surprised that a player that maybe that he's come into contact with is a player that Manchester United are being linked to. So we're going to talk about that as well. So big up to everyone. Be sure to hit the like button and be sure to subscribe. Salam, and I hope you're well. Alhamdulillah, I'm well. Salam to you too. I hope you're doing good as well. It's international break, guys, by the way. So you know, that's when content dries up a little bit because there's not really much to talk about. And it's basically 2 weeks of international break, at least the last international break. We were going on a merry-go-round, you know, is Ten Hag going to get sacked? Is he not going to get sacked? Is he going to get sacked? Now, it sounds like Man United are in a position of stability, if you want to call it that. There's a position of stability. But I'm still going to try and keep the content coming throughout the week, of course, with the daily dose of Minna. We're going to have some FC 25 streams, Make United Great Again. We will be back. We'll have a call-in show as well sometime this week. And I'll be live on Twitch every single day, probably streaming Call of Duty Black Ops multiplayer, probably streaming FC 25 Ultimate Team, etc., etc. So make sure you guys follow me on Twitch. Link is in the chat. And it's also in the description of this video as well. It's quick, guys. You go over to Twitch, you hit follow, simple as that, and then you get notified when I go live, which is around 8-9 p.m. every day UK time. Big up to Fat4 says, big up Minna, big up. Turning 43 today. Happy birthday. Looking forward to a wonderful day and excited about the Amarim era. Well, what a day to have your birthday, first and foremost. The day that Manchester United hopefully will announce Ruben Amaram has officially started his job. I heard about this visa stuff, but I think that is always the case for people because of Brexit, unfortunately. But before we actually talk about Manchester United, have you guys seen the video circulating online of the referee, the FA referee, David Coote. Let me know if you guys have seen the video circulating on the internet of I don't even know what, like, he's still talking about how he don't like Klopp and how he thinks Klopp is arrogant, etc., etc. And then the PGMOL have come out in the last like 30 minutes or so and said that they have suspended him from practice, essentially, pending investigation. And Liverpool fans, of course, hands in the air, they are angry because essentially, I don't know if this is him kind of digging a hole for himself, but he has officiated quite a few games. Man City games, Arsenal games, Liverpool games during title races. So it'll be very, very interesting to see how things turn out. Also, the fact that we play Ipswich after the break is such a blessing. I mean, is it really, given the fact that Ipswich just beat Spurs? Is it? Is it really? But I'm happy with the fact that, you know, I think a lot of players for Manchester United will not be going for international duty. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think a lot of people will go on international duty, and if they do and they've maybe got an injury, etc., maybe I hope they decide not to go. That would definitely be my preference. You lot saying he didn't say anything wrong. Yeah, I just found it kind of funny, and the video got leaked in a way that I don't even know that it looks like it's a video on someone else's personal phone that they've recorded of him, because they're sitting right next to him, and then they even record a video of him of David Coote saying this video cannot go out. I think that's what makes the video even more funny, is the video is of him saying this video can't go out. You know that it can't get leaked. And what happens? The video gets leaked. Big up to Red Scare Claire with the super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It says, Minna, I was bagged down at work during the game. What is your assessment of Ruud's tactics? You know what? There's a perfect question to actually lead to that, because I want to discuss yesterday's game. Obviously, Manchester United 3-0. Whitewash, if you want to call it that. Some good goals as well. Good goal from Bruno, an own goal from Leicester. I thought that was a Bruno goal, but obviously when I watched it back, it wasn't. And then an absolutely great strike from, what the hell? A great strike from Garnacho, who was an impact sub. The tactical approach that I've seen, I think, over the last 4 games under Ruud van Nistelrooy is an interesting one, because I think the biggest telling factor is the midfield. It's the Casemiro and Ugarte partnership. And Casemiro actually did an interview after the game yesterday where he was talking about his partnership with Ugarte, but not just that, but also talking about the fact that, you know, it's been a difficult start to the season, but he's got a lot to give to Manchester United. And I actually think under Ruud van Nistelrooy, we've seen Casemiro consistently play well. And I've always kind of shared this idea that playing Casemiro next to Ugarte, where he has less kind of defensive responsibility, I definitely felt like that could be the strengths for him. And we're seeing that. We're absolutely seeing that. Now, the tactical side of Ruud van Nistelrooy's game is an interesting one. I still see remnants of Erik ten Hag in build-up, but one thing that, like I said, sticks out to me the most is that I don't see a kind of vacated midfield. There is still some care for the midfield in the central areas. Manchester United do like to go wide, and this is kind of like what I think Amorim, what I kind of feel like Amorim will have to work on, is this number 9 thing that we have at Manchester United right now, which I don't think we really saw Ruud in improving it. 4 games is a very small sample size to go off, but I don't think Ruud van Nistelrooy has really found a way to fit Rasmus Hojlund in and get him involved. And yesterday's game, I think that's probably the most frustrated I've been with Rasmus Hojlund in a while, because I did not see anything of a number 9. And actually, I think this is a good kind of starting point for us. I think this is a good starting point for us. It was quite difficult for me watching that game, trying to figure out exactly what is it that Rasmus Hojlund is going to do for Manchester United. Now with the Amorim thing, we can kind of just predict and, you know, try figure it out, kind of piece puzzles together. But just off of yesterday's game, guys, all I saw was a man that was just fighting nonstop. That's it. Like, I need to bring this up because this is all I saw throughout the game, not the scoreline. This is all I saw throughout the game. Now, I understand the physical aspect of playing as a number 9, right? I get it. I totally understand. But But I feel like a lot of the time when I watch Rasmus Hojlund and the ball is at his feet and there's a defender behind him, he's too busy trying to protect the ball rather than actually find a passage of play and find a pass or try to vacate the position and get away from his man. He's too busy a lot of the time trying to use his body as a shield and protect the ball. And there was quite a few instances that he fell to the ground. The ref didn't give it. And I don't think the ref will give those kind of calls because I feel like you're inviting the foul, or you're inviting the pressure, you're inviting the physical aspect of the defender kind of trying to get the ball off you. When you're spending here you can see what's his name, FaZe. He's got his arms around him. This was when I thought it should have been a foul. But I've seen so many instances of Rasmus Hojlund doing this that I genuinely thought yesterday, what is going on? And then when Joshua Zirkzee came on, he did, like, Joshua Zirkzee, I say this all the time, Joshua Zirkzee is not your typical striker. But what did he do well? Garnacho on the left, he had Ahmad on the right, spread the ball. Simple as that. And for me, the big thing that I kind of emphasize is if you're going to have attributes that you're good at, and you have other attributes that you're not that great at, the attributes that you're good at, you better be damn good at that. And that's how I feel about Joshua Zirkzee, his ability to kind of put the ball out wide for a front forward man who necessarily I don't think is always in their pocket. That's why players like Harry Kane, etc., get so much praise for their ability to pass. His ability to do that and spread the ball out, find the right pass, it's a well-balanced ball, inch perfect, good weight. I like that. When your wingers are getting goals and your, midfielders, etc., are contributing to the goals, you won't necessarily feel that loss. But in that game before Joshua Zirkzee came on, and I'm only kind of mentioning Joshua Zirkzee just because I do feel like he had a decent cameo. He didn't get a goal, so I can't say he had a great cameo. But he had a decent cameo, and Manchester United were winning quite comfortably. But throughout that 70-ish minutes that I watched Rasmus Hojlund, I just thought, oh my God, Ruben Amaram has a task at hand. Forget what Man United need to improve in possession, how Manchester United need to improve in defensive transitions. Ruben Amaram has a serious job at hand waiting for him to improve Rasmus Hojlund. So apparently, here you go. We got it. Pictures are here, live and direct. Ruben Amaram in Carrington. Things we love to see. Manchester United tweeted saying it's not just Carrington, it's home. A warm welcome for Ruben Amaram at our training ground. Here's him being welcomed, being greeted by Omar Barada. And then another picture of him with man like Dan Ashworth. I don't know what it is, guys, but the aura. I was watching the highlights of the game yesterday between Sporting and Braga. The vibe I'm getting from Ruben Amaram is different. I don't want to talk about aura hype because I know Arsenal fans. I always troll my friends that are Arsenal fans about Arteta about this. But the vibe I'm getting from Ruben Amaram is different. Now, Ruben Amaram, I'm so sorry if we're about to ruin your life. But equally saying that, I don't think I can handle another manager that fails at Man United. So I am putting all my support into Ruben Amaram to be the guy that takes Man United back to the promised land. But he's here, and he's where's that Kim Kardashian tweet? Let me find it. He's here and he's perfect. Oh my God, he's here and he's perfect. Aura for aura, yeah, we could go aura for aura now with them. He's here and he's perfect. I'm excited, man. I'm really excited. I'm really all right. Let's get back to the topic. We got sidetracked for a second. We weren't meant to talk about Ruben Amaram until later in the stream. But just quickly on Rasmus Hojlund, guys. Quickly on Rasmus Hojlund. Do you guys feel confident? That he will be able, Ruben Amaram will be able to work and get a response out of Rasmus Hojlund? Because I'm not gonna lie, I think Rasmus Hojlund, he has the technical ability, but in game, I feel like his decision making that he does, the way that he approaches the game, is bad. And yesterday's game, personally, it was really frustrating for me to see. For someone who's tough built, Rasmus goes to the ground quite easily. Zirkzee was pretty good linking up front, but he looks lost. I hear that. Imran says, "Now Rasmus can't finish. We need Gyökeres." Do you not really think we're gonna get him? 2.5 years enough to build a squad to challenge for the title. Do you feel like, because right now, Man United's 26-man squad, 7 of them is pre-Eric Ten Hag. Like, I always emphasize this. A lot of the players, over nearly 20 of them, 19 I think of them, are players that Eric Ten Hag has brought in. So do you guys feel like we have to rebuild the rebuild? Or, you know, there's only a few pieces of puzzles that are needed for Man United to kind of contend? Because I'm not gonna lie, I look at the team right now and I still think Man United need a number 9 that's gonna get goals. Like they need a number 9 that's gonna get you 20 to 30 goals in the season. You're not getting that in Rasmus Hojlund right now. You're not getting that in Joshua Zirkzee. Man United, I think, also need a ball able, is that even a term? A player who can play the ball. A midfielder that's good on the ball. That's, you know what, guys? Just quickly, just hear me out, guys. Juve are in talks to finalize termination of Paul Pogba's contract. Now, reportedly, there's people in England that are interested in him, Spain, the MLS, and Saudi. Many teams are interested in him. What are we saying? Well, what are we saying? I'm not gonna lie, because if I see Paul Pogba come back to the Premier League and it's not here, I will be traumatized. Check on me for 40 days and 40 nights, guys. Check on me for 40 days and for 40 nights. I'm kidding, though. But Man United don't need a Paul Pogba, but they need a player in the midfield who's good on the ball. For me, they need a striker. Man United have been heavily linked to this guy here. He's on what? How many goals is he on this season so far? Big up to Sully with the super chat. Says, no is the answer. I think that's the answer to Hojlund. We need Gyökeres or João Pedro. João Pedro that's a new name that I've kind of heard of. Manchester United's kind of suggesting him. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm gonna keep it a buck. If Man United were to go to Brighton to buy a player, I wouldn't want João Pedro. Bring me Carlos Baleba. That's who I would want. Bring me Carlos Baleba, Kobe Mainoo, Ugarte. That's a good midfield kind of pack to pick from. And then you've got Sekou Kone coming into the team. That's decent. But on the topic of Ruben Amarim having 2.5 years in his contract to contend, Man United need to go buy a striker. That's the first thing. Man United, for me, need a midfielder. They need at least another, 2 centre-backs. They need maybe potentially no, not even potentially. They need a left wing-back. So I don't know how far Manchester United and Ruben Amarim are away from competing, but it's definitely going to take a couple of years. Barca are linked with Gyökeres and with Lewandowski's injury. He's definitely going there. I hear it. I can imagine that. The thing is, Ruben Amarim said in the media, he said that he will not come to Sporting to buy players in January. But he didn't write off the summer. He just said in January he wouldn't come to buy players. Now, just quickly, before we kind of get to the topic of transfer windows, before we actually get to the topic of that, I just want to quickly mention Ruud van Nistelrooy quickly. And I want to hear what you guys think. Just simple, stay, go. Do you feel like a person like him should stay in and around the dressing room, given his influence? Do you feel like it could actually undermine potentially the manager, given the fact that the manager is coming in with his entire coaching staff? He's coming in with his 3 or 4 coaches that he comes with, one of them being a goalkeeper coach. 2 of them are under the age of 30, guys. They're young. They're kids. They're not kids. They're 28 and 29. But they're young. They are young. But I also think that with the way that he spoke about it yesterday, he was asked, Ruben Amarim was asked after the Braga game about the Ruud van Nistelrooy situation, and he said, listen, I'm going to come and we're going to talk about it. It's going to be the first thing that we talk about when I get there. And Ruud van Nistelrooy also mentioned that he is patiently waiting for an answer from Manchester United as to whether he's going to stay or not. Now, I'm not going to lie, I think the manager should make the decision. And I know this kind of sounds a bit wild for me to say that. The manager should decide, because I think the manager needs a clean slate. It's difficult enough that the manager is having to have, players from a previous regime. But I'm not saying, by the way, Ruud van Nistelrooy is a negative kind of influence, because I don't think he is. The way the players talk about him after the games, you can see the relationships that he has with players. They genuinely they see something in him, that, this nurturing type of coach. But sometimes I think it's better as a new coach coming in to just have a completely clean slate. Nothing from before, nothing that you're forced to have involved. I mean, Darren Fletcher will still be there as this technical coach or whatever his role is. And the other guy, I completely forgot about him, Rene Hack. I completely forgot about him. He's been open about his ambitions for manager Man United. It just creates toxicity and unnecessary drama. Let us start fresh from top to bottom. Ruud needs to go. Sully says go. After that interim period, he's definitely getting a Prem job. I don't know if you lot remember, but Michael Carrick took on the interim job for Manchester United and then got a job, even though he's at Middlesbrough in Championship, but he still got a job. And Ruud van Nistelrooy, if we remember, turned down the Burnley job. Now, I know, guys, sidetracked. I'm getting sidetracked. But Coventry City have sacked their manager who took them from League One to Championship to an FA Cup semi-final, missed out on promotion by like a point or two. And now they're appointing Frank Lampard. How does Frank Lampard keep getting jobs? I don't understand. He couldn't do it at Chelsea. What makes you think, no disrespect, that he's going to be able to do it at Coventry? I don't know. But like I mentioned with Michael Carrick getting a job after interim coach period at Manchester United, I don't doubt that Ruud van Nistelrooy would get a job. Fat4 says him staying can only help Amorim adapt. Not to say Ruud was a long-serving coach who could be carrying baggage. He's also new to the coaching setup. I think he'll be helpful instead of a hindrance. I hear it. I fear for him getting undermined or feeling so. That's another thing as well, yeah, that if him feeling undermined. I definitely think we will have some information about it in the next week. I definitely think now that it's been announced with Amorim arriving, I definitely think we will kind of have that. Now, Amorim was speaking to media yesterday after the game against Braga. And obviously, unfortunately, it was his last game at It was his last game at Braga. But every single question, it seemed, that was asked towards him was about him coming to Manchester United and how he's going to adapt, etc., etc. Now, let me bring up some of the quotes. And he basically spoke about him arriving and planning to hit the ground running immediately at Manchester United, and a conversation that he's going to have today. So it was yesterday. He was saying that he was going to have a conversation tomorrow with Ruud van Nistelrooy about the future of his club. By him saying that in the press conference while he's at Sporting kind of gives me the idea that maybe Ineos are letting him take the decision. He also spoke about how he's going to be able to implement it. And he said he's going to come in and assess the situation and work with what works for him and what he knows best. So I really think, and this is just like it's me trying to read between the lines, I genuinely do have a feeling that Ruben Amaram coming in, having about 10 or 11 days, 12 days, whatever it is, before the first game against Ipswich, he's going to get a chance to kind of get a feel of the entire team, figuratively, not literally. He's going to get a feel of the whole team and kind of see what pieces fit into his puzzle and maybe doesn't. Now, I've said this already. Ipswich Town, first game under Ruben Amaram, I want to see a back three. I want to see it straight away. I don't know if you guys feel the same as well. Let me know in the chat. I don't want this whole, it's going to take me time to get to play it. No, play your three in the back, play your wing backs, and adapt accordingly to each opponent. Even if, by the way, Manchester United, a couple of weeks after that, go to the Emirates and play Arsenal. If we play a back four, no problem. I don't mind that. Let me check what Laurie Whitwell's recent tweet. Where's my Twitter thing? Oh, it's just been confirmed. There you go. We've got the confirmation, guys. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. Ruud van Nistelrooy is confirmed to leave Manchester United following his interim coach spell. There you go. We got the confirmation. Thank you, Ridwan, for letting me know to check that out. Let's read the full article on here. It says Ruud van Nistelrooy is set to depart Manchester United following Ruben. That was quick, by the way. That was quick. Ruben Amaram said yesterday, tomorrow I'm going to speak to Ruud van Nistelrooy. And he spoke to him. And he told him, you got to go. You got to go. But he said Ruud van Nistelrooy is set to depart Manchester United. Obviously, we all know blah, 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 la, la, la. The Portuguese coach, i.e. Ruben Amaram, said on Sunday he planned to hold talks with Van Nistelrooy regarding his future at Manchester United. He said, about a legend of the club, he did a great job and I have to talk to him on Monday. Then I will explain everything. I am very clear and I will tell it like it is. Let's wait until tomorrow. So we've got the confirmation there that we've kind of been talking about whether Ruud van Nistelrooy will leave or not. And maybe that's the first kind of stamp, guys. That is kind of the first stamp, I would say, of authority from Ruben Amarim. And like I said, maybe this is Ineos's way of letting him make the decisions that kind of impact. I mean, that is the shortest. Is that the shortest assistant coach that we've had, guys? 3 months, 4 months. When did he come in? July, August, September, October, November. 4 months. By the way, guys, he didn't come in like a year ago. He didn't even have a full season at Manchester United as part of the backroom staff. But thank you very much for all your hard work, Ruud van Nistelrooy. I will never forget that 4-game streak. I will never forget that 4-game streak. 3 wins and 1 draw. Undefeated. Was Carrick shorter? No, I think as an interim coach, yes. But Carrick was an assistant coach at Manchester United for a long time, for a couple of years. Rude, gone. But Carrick was there for a bit. Probation period is 6 months. Man got sent before that. He didn't even fail his probation. I just think Man United are just moving quick. But this is another thing, like, for me, it just kind of baffles me a little bit, guys. I'm not gonna lie. It slightly confuses me. You got rid of Erik ten Hag's second in command. You let him go. And you brought in Ruud van Nistelrooy in July. Now, obviously, a couple of months later, we find out that it was an SEG suggestion, as reported by The Athletic. It was an SEG suggestion, and it was not an Ineos appointment. It was not an Ineos appointment. However, 4 months as an assistant coach, that is very short, guys. That is very short. But I also guess Man United didn't really anticipate that they'd be in this position right now, where they've got a new head coach in November. I don't think that they anticipated that. But there you go. There we have that news, so we can kind of stop speculating about that. Thank you very much, Ruud van Nistelrooy. Where is this? Where is it? Oh shit! Did I lose it? I lost it. I had it. Oh, nope. Here it is. This will not go unforgotten, Ruud. I will never forget this. Thank you very much for your service. A club legend. He can leave. He can genuinely leave as a legend. It's all good. But whilst we're on the topic of Ruud van Nistelrooy, let's just quickly wrap up on yesterday's game. If you've just come through, guys, don't be a disgrace. Make sure you hit the like button. You know the rules. You come in, you wipe your feet, you say hi to everyone in the chat, and you pay your taxes by hitting the like button. If you're new here, please do subscribe. It's the road to 8K. We ain't that far off. A couple of hundred to go. We might be able to get there by the end of the month, inshallah. It's the road to 10K, man. You know what it is. If you want to join the membership club, you can. It's the pinned comment in the chat. You get your badges, you get your emojis, you get your custom member content, and of course, you get to support the growth of the channel. If you want to support the channel in alternative ways, you can send in super chats with your comments, with your questions, with your thoughts, or just to show some love. As I mentioned earlier at the beginning of the stream, I will be live pretty much every day on the channel here. FC25 streams. We've got a call-in show this week as well, and I'll also be live on Twitch every single day as well. So the link is in the bio of this video to my Twitch. It's quick. You just go, click it, click the Twitch link, Minute Football. You follow on there, and then if you play Call of Duty, guys, we can play multiplayer together. We can play Black Ops if you lot play Call of Duty. But I'll also be live doing FC25 streams on there as well. Cowboy just said, Ruud, moving on. I'm late. You're not late, my friend. You're not late, my friend. It was just announced 8 minutes ago. It was just announced 8 minutes ago that Ruud van Nistelrooy is set to depart Manchester United following Ruben Amarim's arrival as a head coach. That's it. Is there going to be a handover period, I wonder? Is he going to leave immediately? Like, is he leaving straight away from today? I guess that's the points that maybe we need some clarity on, whether he's leaving straight away, whether it's going to be like a handover period. Oh, and there you go. We've got Manchester United. It's also been confirmed. The entire coaching staff, by the way, is leaving Manchester United. Rene Hack is leaving. Ten Rowler is leaving. I don't even know who some of these guys are. And all these guys, by the way, came in the summer. This has to, like, come on, like, how much has Ineos spent probably on all of this? Bringing them in and then kicking them out in a couple of months. I don't know, guys. That is weird. That is weird. But all of the coaching staff under Erik ten Hag has now left. And most of them were all appointed in July. Fletcher leaving? No, Fletcher's not leaving. I don't. Fletcher's easy United through and through. I don't think he's going anywhere. But all the Dutch assistant coaches and backroom staff are leaving. Ruud is leaving immediately. Yes, sir. According to the Athletic, he's set to depart following Amorim's arrival. Amorim's arrival is today, so I anticipate that Manchester United will probably announce it in the next hour or two. I think in the next hour or two, they will definitely they will probably be announcing it. It's a clean slate. Yeah, it gives Ruben Amaram the opportunity to start afresh. You know, and that's the best thing that I think somebody can get, starting fresh with the entire team. And that's the best part for me, in my opinion. It's best Dutch people. Oh, honestly, I'm reading the names and it's literally all Dutch people. It's the entire coaching staff, the backroom staff under Erik ten Hag. And it's funny, like I said, because all of these guys just came in the last 3-4 months. And Fabrizio Romano has also kind of doubled down on it, that it's not just Ruud van Nistelrooy leaving, it's Rene Hack and 2 other coaching staff, reportedly because Ruben Amaram wants his own staff. I hear it. It's very hard to, I guess, teach a philosophy or a style of play to people who probably ain't been there the entire time. Like, when I've been reading about Ruben Amaram's career so far, his entire coaching staff they did their qualifications together, and they've kind of climbed through the Portuguese FA's licensing together. Because of that, I feel like you've been together the entire time, so you're on the same page when it comes to your kind of style of football, how to implement it, the kind of players that you need, etc., etc. Because you've developed this kind of game plan together from, you know, day one of you guys sitting your qualifications together. So I understand why he would want to have his entire kind of own back room. It's totally warranted. It's totally warranted. And a guy that I think will come very useful under him is Manuel Ugarte. I really think Manuel Ugarte will come useful under him. Now, for me, the best thing for Manchester United, and I was speaking about Casemiro, earlier. The more players that Ruben Amaram has available to him, I think the better. The more players that he has at his disposal, the better, because it will allow us to see, and him to see, of course, what works and what doesn't work. Now, I'm not gonna lie, just because Manuel Ugarte played under Ruben Amaram, I don't think that gives him a free pass into the starting lineup. I actually think, I don't think there's anybody. Is there anyone in the team right now that you think is a guaranteed starter under Ruben Amaram? I'll say Onana. I'll say Onana is a guaranteed starter. I would say Bruno Fernandes is probably a guaranteed starter. Other than that, I would go as far to say that maybe some of the people in the back line, maybe De Ligt is a starter, Mazraoui could be a starter, Leach could be a starter. But I don't think just because Manuel Ugarte has played under Ruben Amaram that he's going to be a guaranteed starter. Ugarte, okay, Abe saying Ugarte. I don't know about Ugarte. I don't think he'll be guaranteed. But also, I appreciate the fact that he's got a 4-game run under Ruud van Nistelrooy, and we're kind of seeing how Man United can benefit from him. Let's be honest. He ain't going to give you 10 out of 10 passing consistently throughout the game. He ain't going to give you that. However, defensively, yesterday's game, for example, I said that he was my man of the match. Yesterday's game, I genuinely thought there was 10 Ugartes on the pitch because he was everywhere. The guy was everywhere. Apparently, Manchester United have just posted as well an official statement about Ruud van Nistelrooy. There you go. Yeah, he's confirmed that Ruud van Nistelrooy, Manchester United have confirmed, by the way, that Ruud van Nistelrooy and 3 first-team coaches have departed the club with the best wishes for the future. Thank you for your unwavering commitment to Manchester United. That was the guys. That has to be the 4 months. You spent 4 months in a job. You don't even put it on your CV. Don't even put it on your CV. But Ugarte is one player that yesterday's a performance similar to De Ligt. I feel like De Ligt has just been going under the radar. Generally speaking, I feel like De Ligt has just been going under the radar for Manchester United. Everyone is rightfully so focusing on people like Mazraoui or Ahmad, etc. De Ligt has quietly had good games here on out over the last kind of couple of weeks. Carlos says, Ruben is very good at developing players. Sure, you'll be shocked with your own players. Wait till the summer for 1 or 2 new players. Red Scare Claire says, damn, man, that's ruthless. Yeah, I know. That is actually ruthless. Very, very ruthless. So they were so quick with it. They were so quick with it. But anyway, let's quickly talk about Bruno Fernandes, guys. What did you lot make of his performance yesterday? And what do you make of what he will be under Ruben Amarim? Like I said, until the first day against Ipswich comes, until that game kind of comes to us, we're just going to speculate with what the starting 11 can be, who might play where. But I look at Bruno Fernandes over the last couple of weeks, and like I said, this is what confidence can do to you, right? Because Bruno Fernandes had a 17% shot accuracy under Erik ten Hag this season, struggled with hitting the target, struggled with really doing anything in front of goal, created a few chances and got a few assists, but suddenly steps it up. And this is why I say football is always something. It's about talent, it's about ability, but it's also about confidence, and confidence can go a long way. Bruno Fernandes showed us yesterday with his goal, the Bruno Fernandes that we rightfully so have been able, that we've had for the last 250 games. Like he showed us that yesterday by being confident enough to take that shot from the edge of the box and just the pure accuracy. And it wasn't just that. All praise for me for that goal. Yeah, Bruno finishes off a great chance. Amad Diallo created that. Why? Because he chased the ball down 1v1. You don't know, Amad Diallo got hops, yeah? He got hops. He can leap in the air, and he leaped over a defender, forcing it out for a throw-in, gets the throw-in, gets the back heel, and also gets the assist for Bruno Fernandes. Another player, like I said, that stuck out to me yesterday, alongside Ugarte, was Bruno Fernandes for me. And I think in Ruben Amarim's system, like I said, we're just going to speculate for now. But that kind of 2 10s behind the striker, could it be him? Could we see him play in a deeper midfield role? One thing that I've noticed just from watching a Ruben Amarim games over the last week or two, and B, I've watched a lot of videos and podcasts and listened to a lot of podcasts kind of analyzing Ruben Amarim's system. And it seems like in Ruben Amarim's system, one wing back is the more defensive one and one is the more attacking one. And that's why I genuinely think that Manchester United have to go out in the January or the summer window, depending on whether they got the finances, and buy a wing back. Man United need to buy at least one wing back. Can I just say that? If it's a left wing back, all right, cool. Let's get a Davies. Let's get a Grimaldo. I don't know. Let's get a Nuri. Let's get a Robinson. There's quite a few Alvaro Fernandes. There's quite a few fullbacks that Man United can go out and buy. Right wing back necessarily, I don't know what's the likelihood of Man United going out to buy a right wing back. I do think it's more likely of that. And that's why I don't think Bruno will be a player that United maybe look to replace anytime soon. What do you think of Fatawu? His name is Abdul something, Fatawu. What do I figure? He cooked Dalot yesterday, bro. Let's be honest, he's the guy that was playing in the left wing back, right? He was cooking. He skinned Diogo Dalot multiple times. But I think United could go out and get a better wing back. I feel like United can go out and get a better wing back. For me, if I was to say what wing backs I want, I would say 1, Alphonso Davies. That would be my number 1 option. My number 2 option would be Aït-Nouri. My number 3 option would be Robinson. My number 4 option would be Alvaro Fernandes. And I would say Grimaldo number 5 because I think it's very unlikely Man United get Grimaldo. Not that I don't want Grimaldo, I just think it's very unlikely that United get him. Now, even Alphonso Davies, I think it's unlikely Man United get him because have you seen what's happening with Real Madrid? They've lost what's his name, Militao, I think now to another ACL. They might go out and in January just start buying everybody. They might go out and start buying everybody. We're broke. Fat 4 says, I'll sell Rashford and Dalot. Both lack concentration and good decision making skills. Only difference, Dalot is an assault. Let's actually talk about Marcus Rashford. Let's talk about Marcus Rashford, guys, because I do not know what is going on with it. Like, you don't know coming into the season. If you guys know, you don't remember what I was saying about Marcus Rashford. I was saying he's scoring 20 to 25 goals, all comps. He looks like an absolute shadow of himself. Like, I don't know how to say this in a way, but and you lot know I love Marcus Rashford. I love him. Yeah, but I'm just watching him game in, game out, and I'm thinking, Marcus, like, give me something to just, flaunt. Just give me something to flaunt, because I can't. I'm holding on to. Yesterday I was saying, yes, Marcus Rashford, he's playing on his preferred left side. Forgot he was even playing. I don't know what it is. And maybe I can go back to the point I said about Bruno. Confidence goes a long way. Marcus Rashford has not looked confident for the best part of 16, 17 months. Can I just say that? He has not looked confident for the best part of 15, 16, 17 months. Yeah, we can say, okay, that's when he signed his new contract. But equally, what has gone wrong between the end of the first season? Why does my phone keep vibrating, man? I'm flipping out. What has gone wrong between then and now? And what is gonna happen with Marcus Rashford? That's what I want to know. Because like I said again, we're just gonna speculate again about the Ruben Amaram kind of formation and the Ruben Amaram way. But if we've got a number 9 and you've got Amad Diallo, Bruno Fernandes, Anthony, Garnacho, Marcus Rashford, 5 players competing for 2 spots. Yeah, 5 players competing for the 2 spots behind the striker. If this is the audition for that, it's not a good audition. Rashford, they can never make me hate you, bro. Rashford is another player that's played in several systems and outlasted the managers. I think Rashford is the only guy that's actually... I think Rashford's the only guy that's been here since Van Gaal onwards. For me, this is his last season to prove himself. I said that too. I said coming into the season, I said this is the last season for me for Rashford to kind of just hit the ground running. And I just feel like I don't know, is he falling out? Maybe I'm making too much excuses for him. Maybe I'm actually making too much excuses for him. Is he falling out of love for the game? Is he falling out of love for the club? Is he falling out of love just for playing football? Because when I watch him, guys, I can just feel the kind of vibe, yeah, that he's shot for confidence. He's got no confidence in him. And yes, confidence isn't end all or be all, but I think it's a big factor of your ability on the pitch, right? And if all that's happened is that he's lost his base, this I noticed yesterday, yeah? I don't know what it was. I felt like, guys, I was playing a video game, because there was a point he had the ball and he makes a run down the left-hand side. And I was like pressing my phone as if I'm pressing the PlayStation controller to run, because I'm like, why is he running so slow? I was like, why is he running so slow? But he looks like he's lost an inch in his step kind of thing when it comes to his pace. You know, he hasn't been shooting much. He hasn't been taking on his man. He just, gets the ball, tries to take on his man and get past his man. And you lot know the Rashford special is kick it and run. But when you ain't got the pace like that anymore, you can't get past your man, and you need to kind of find alternative ways to beat a player. Instead, he just goes back a lot of the time. Maybe he needs to go somewhere with less eyes and pressure. He's always under the spotlight his entire career. He's been under the spotlight. That's true. He's been under the spotlight since he's burst onto the scene for Manchester United. He was the face of Ollie's kind of period at Manchester United, him and Martial and Greenwood. I think they were scoring the most goals of any front three in Europe. He was the face of Jose Mourinho when Jose Mourinho was falling out with him and Pogba and Martial, whatever. Eric Ten Hag's first season, he was the face of that as well. But equally so, outside of football, he's been the face of a lot of things. And this is what I kind of talk about, his impact off the pitch, because I respect him a lot for what he does off the pitch, guys. You guys know that Marcus Rashford, what he's done off the pitch, maybe if you're not from the UK, you might not understand the influence that he has had when it comes to the political side of the UK. But I respect him a lot for that. And sometimes I genuinely think that by taking a stance politically during COVID, that put him in the firing line for any sort of media. After that, guys, I don't know if you guys realize, but Marcus Rashford used to be Manchester United and England's kind of poster boy. And after that kind of COVID period and he took on the government, rightfully so, by the way, he put himself in the firing line of critiques outside of football. So not only are you being criticized by football fans, but even people outside of football, you are now in their firing line. And I can just imagine that maybe, I don't know, I'm trying to put 1 + 1 together right now to figure out what's gone wrong with him. Rashford needs to be sold, end of debate. Do you think he will be sold? Do you guys think he would be sold? Genuinely speaking, yeah, Ineos come in right now. They've had 11 months. Ineos have been here since January, right? Do you genuinely think they will sell him? Because you look at the entire team, and I said this on Sky Sports the other day. I said, you look at the entire team, he is probably the most sellable asset in the team, despite the contract that he has. I think his contract's to 2028. Despite the contract that he has, he's the most sellable asset because he's 27, which is still a reasonable age, number one. Number two, if Man United sell him, whatever they sell him for, from a PSR perspective, it will be 100% profit. Now, you look at Amorim's team, and A kind of says it here, depending on how he performs under Amorim. You look at that system or the way that Amorim plays, where does he fit in? Like, let's be brutally honest, guys. Let's be brutally honest right now. Where does he fit in to the way that we have been accustomed to seeing Amorim play over the last couple of weeks? Because a lot of us have only started watching sport the last couple of weeks. I don't think he's a wing back. Playing as an inside forward, I don't think that either. I feel like Man United will have better options to play as an inside forward. Ahmad's there. I think Bruno Fernandes is there. Like I said, I don't think he's a wing back. Is he going to play as a number 9? I don't think so either on that. So this is obviously a decision for the coach to make, as well as Ineos. And I'm sure the coach will know who he's looking at. And I mean, the reason why I don't think he's a number 9 option is because we've got Joshua Zirkzee, Rasmus Hojlund, Chido Obi Martin, who's going to come into the first team eventually. And Man United might even go out and buy a striker. They might even go out and buy a striker. He'll be a striker sub. I don't think so. I don't think so. Personally, anyways. I don't think so. But just quickly, whilst on the topic of talking about forwards and talking about the transfer window, Manchester United reportedly, this came out last night by L'Equipe, the French outlet. Manchester United have inquired about Christopher Nkunku and would be ready to take him in January. In January. Nkunku is unhappy about his playing time at Chelsea. Now let's be brutally honest, guys. Yeah, we're just gonna keep it a buck. Yes or no on Nkunku? Yes or no? And just on the topic of that, thank you to Steffi with the super chat. No comment, just the super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Not far off from the goal. Are we far off from the goal? Yeah, no, we're still far off from the goal. Everybody's saying no. What? Everybody's saying no. You know what's funny? I said this at the beginning of the stream. The only thing I see United being linked to Nkunku is because A, he's got history with Leipzig. I really liked Nkunku, by the way, at Leipzig. I really, really liked him. And I always said him going to Chelsea was just unusual. But also, a lot of the things Chelsea were doing in that period was just very erratic, remember, in the transfer windows. I liked him at Leipzig. Now, he hasn't really played at Chelsea, so I don't want to be guilty of judging him at his time only at Leipzig. Let's be honest. I don't think we should do that, because we should look at what we're given right now at face value, which is he hasn't played for Chelsea. He's in... I think he's 3rd or 4th in the pecking order. He's ahead of João Felix, that's for one thing, but he's behind Nicholas Jackson. I've seen games where they've played him on the left wing. I've seen games they played him in the middle. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I always thought Nkunku was a 10. Watching him at Leipzig, he looked like a second striker / 10. Whereas I'm watching him now at Chelsea, and it looks like they're playing him as an alternative to Nicholas Jackson. Now, that could probably be because Cole Palmer never comes off, and Cole Palmer is their 10. But if Manchester United are genuinely looking at him as an option, is that because, you know, this idea of 2 10s under Ruben Amarim's 2 inside forwards, if you want to call it that, behind a striker, we know that he can play behind a striker. But again, that is just going off of what he was doing at Leipzig. At Chelsea, let's see how much minutes he's actually got under his belt at Chelsea. Minna, who in our squad is better player than Nkunku, bruv? We have Xerxes and Hojlund. That's a question to you guys. Who's better, Xerxes, Hojlund, or Nkunku, guys? Because one is not playing for his team. Big up to Ramadan. Ramadan, by the way, is a Chelsea fan. So anything he says about Nkunku, I'm going to take it for legit because he's a Chelsea fan. He says, I'm one of the minority in the Chelsea fan base who wanted Nkunku sold. Even to United, he's overrated. Wow. Tell is 200% better and no play in Bayern. Apparently, they're looking to send him out on loan in the January transfer window. All right, let's look at Nkunku this season. I can't believe... No, this can't be right. What? He scored 10 goals this season. What? Okay, 3 of them came against Barrow. Okay. I was about to say, this is very inflated stats right now. Okay, he scored 10 goals this season, which all of them have come... One of them has come in the Premier League, and all the rest have come in Conference League and the EFL Cup. Guys, I was generally bugging out. I was thinking, what? He's played 17 games for Chelsea. But here it is, guys. He doesn't really play much. Like, Premier League, he don't play. Premier League, he does not play. He started in both EFL games for them. And he's also started for the Conference League. So he's part of that part. I guess he's starting in the Conference League because Cole Palmer is not registered in the Conference League. So he's the starting 10. If we have bad players, it doesn't mean we go for low standard players. Damn. Everybody, by the way, has said no in the chat. At least he's scoring. Our strikers can't do that. I mean, 10 goals this season. That is in the Conference League is kind of inflated. They scored 8 against Noah's Ark the other day. Whatever the team was called, where they called like Noah's FC or something like that. They scored 8 against them, 6 in one half. Yahya says, after Mason Mount, I don't want any Chelsea players. I hear it. United fans, Nkunku is low-key another Havertz. He's positionless and he ain't no 10, but Amorim could get something from him. 50 M's minimum. You can have him. Thank you very much, but I would rather United go out and spend 50 million on another player. Felix, let's get him. So you guys just want us to go and take Chelsea rejects. We took Mason Mount. I seen the other day someone said on one of my TikTok videos, someone said United should sign Ben Chilwell. And I was like, what? Ben Chilwell. Now people are talking about let's get Felix or Nkunku. I'm not joking, guys. If it's not Cole Palmer or Caicedo, I don't want anybody at Chelsea. I'm being 100% honest with you guys. If we went to Chelsea today to make a signing, hypothetically speaking, if it's not Cole Palmer that we walk off with, and it's not Caicedo that we walk off with, I don't want anyone. Nkunku is a baller, guys. He has the hunger. The fact people forget easily baffles me. I think that's the big thing, right? Is what are we judging Nkunku on? What are we judging on Nkunku? Are we judging him of what we knew him to be at Leipzig or what he's been the last couple of seasons at Chelsea? That's my question, because you can't... I don't think you can judge him solely on Chelsea, and I don't think you can judge him solely on his time at Leipzig. Let's get Omar Marmoush before Liverpool. Omar Marmoush is a baller, by the way. Only 3 players in Europe this season have 10 plus goals and assists, guys. Rafinha, Mohamed Salah, and Omar Marmoush. And Omar Marmoush actually has scored 3 free kicks in a row. You know, the same free kicks that Man United hit into the wall, or the same free kicks that Manchester United sky into the crowd, or the same free kicks that Manchester United just scuff. Yeah, he's scored 3 of them in a row. Now, of course, we can... It's all the hype in it. There's a lot of hype surrounding Marmoush right now. But can I just say, Guirassy last season had hype around him in the Bundesliga, and he's gone on to continue that after leaving what team? I can't remember what team he was at last season, but obviously now he's at Dortmund. Omar Marmoush will definitely get a move this summer. I've seen Liverpool are quite linked to him. I don't know if they're going to sign him to kind of keep Mohamed Salah happy and kind of keep Mohamed Salah at Liverpool. I've already said it. I think out of the 3 people at Liverpool that are free agents in the summer, I think Van Dijk is going to stay. I think Trent's going to leave. I think Mohamed Salah might leave. I need Mohamed Salah to leave the league. Guys, I'm not joking. I need him to leave. I like him so much. I can't have him at Liverpool. He's such a good player. And also, just quickly on Salah, is that The level he's playing at right now is ridiculous. He's the first Premier League player to get, I think, 10 goals and 10 assists in all competitions. So he's doing very, very well. Omar's a bad boy. He's good. He's good. Who's Amorim gonna take with him from Sporting? Let's actually get to that. Let's get to that. In case you guys missed it, here he is. Here he is. He's here, and he's perfect. Ruben Amaram at Carrington earlier today with Omar Barada. This is him here with Dan Ashworth. He's brought in his entire coaching staff. From what we know, 3 coaches, 2 that are under 30, guys. One is 28, one is 29, and one is a goalkeeper coach as well. That's who he's brought in with. And as a result, the Ruben Amaram era is here. Like, I'm actually quite sad it's come at an international break, guys. I'm actually quite sad that it's come at an international break. I wish it didn't, but also he has that's jokes. He looks healthy. Give him 2 months in Manchester. What's the weather like in Lisbon, guys? I've never been to Lisbon. It's always been on my bucket list, yeah? What's the weather like in Lisbon? Is it hot? Is it warm? Is it just like neutral? Because I need to know what kind of weather he's left behind to now come to the UK. And he might be... is he going to be shocked, basically? My question is he going to be shocked at how much it rains here in the UK? Because that might be... He might be like, oh my God, what have I signed up to for 2.5 years where it just rains all the time? And it looks like the UK in the winter period, guys. I don't know anywhere that just seems more sad and miserable, because it's just so cold. It's so rainy, windy when it gets to like December, January. But I'm really excited. I can't lie. I'm really, really excited. It's a blessing. It's international break. Take his time in assisting the players correctly. For me, as long as a lot of players, like, I want them all to pull out of international duty, guys. I want them all to say, oh, we can't come. I saw Lisandro Martinez departing for international duty so far. I assume Rasmus Hojlund, Christian Eriksen will go. Ugarte will go. I don't know if Garnacho will go, because last time Garnacho, Ahmad, Kobe Mainoo, they all pulled out of international duty. So I don't know if Garnacho will go. Anana will probably go on international duty. A lot of players will be going on international duty. Anyone that's had any sort of injury issue should not be going on international duty. I've seen Odegaard reportedly is going on international duty. If I was Arsenal, I wouldn't allow him to go. He's just recovered from an injury. Bukayo Saka will probably pull out of England international duty as well. I think that will be a fact. But let's not focus on other teams in it. Let's not be worried about other teams. Let's just focus on ourselves. In case you guys have missed it, Manchester United officially have announced the departure of Ruud van Nistelrooy. Why? Because the Ruben Amaram era is here. The Ruben Amaram era has arrived. Ruud van Nistelrooy, thank you very much for your services. You know, and not many managers can say that they were unbeaten at their time at Manchester United. I think it's only Carrick and him that could say that. Ralph Rangnick definitely couldn't. Big up to Ramadan with the super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It says, I'm a top 3 right wingers in the Prem based on ability. Ooh, is that a hot take, guys? Is that a hot take? Based on ability, not based on form, not based on stats, based on ability. Is Amad Diallo top 3 right wingers in the Prem? You're saying what? You're saying Mohamed Salah, Saka, and then it's Ahmad next. Ooh. I'm just, personally, guys, I'm just happy for Ahmad. Like, that is all. I'm happy for him. I want to see him grow. And hopefully, I want Manchester United to keep him on a contract that kind of proves that he's a big part of what they're building. Like, it's as simple as that. I was so happy when United signed him. I was very optimistic. I was looking forward to what he had to offer. I was a bit skeptical of the price tag, but I knew we were getting a good talent. He went out on loan. I loved his loan season. I've been waiting patiently. And this is why, for me, Erik ten Hag needs to be held accountable. By the way, did you guys see Erik ten Hag at an Ajax game yesterday? What if he gets the Ajax job? He made them 100 and how much? 160 million. He made Ajax 160 million from 2 transfers. Anyways, Eric, this is probably why I'm more annoyed about Erik ten Hag, because Erik ten Hag did everything in his power to not play Amad Diallo. Whether he was playing Amorim Forson, whether he was playing Mazraoui in the 10, he did everything in his power to make sure that Amad Diallo didn't play. He made excuses saying Anthony was one of the best players in training, so he deserved to play. Like, he gave us so many excuses consistently about Amad Diallo. And that Amad Diallo talent, ability, it's always been there. It's always been there. And I'm very happy to see Ruud van Nistelrooy coming out after the Europa League game last week, where he said that Amad Diallo was even staying back after training, working on drills, working on shooting, working on passing, working on pressing. He was spending hours and hours after training sessions to work on extra game. I don't know what Erik ten Hag saw in training, generally, but maybe he just didn't. Amad wasn't his cup of tea. But for me, men lie, women lie, talent doesn't. Simple as that. It's simple as that. Let me see what you lot are saying. Amorim Forson can't even start for Monza. There you go. There you go. You can see it right there. Listen, guys, I will not. Normally, Monday is Straight Jacket podcast. I'm not going to be on Saeed's channel because I need to run and do some errands, unfortunately. But I am going to redirect you guys to there. So don't go anywhere. Go show some love to Nuruddin and actually go there and say Minagang. Because I need them to know, just because I'm not on the stream doesn't mean that people are not coming through to watch the podcast. Be sure to hit the like button, guys. Don't be a disgrace, man. You guys know the rules here on the channel. You don't know the rules. You come in, you wipe your feet, you say hi to everyone in the chat, you send your greetings, and then you hit the like button. As I mentioned as well, thank you to everyone that sent in super chats throughout the stream. Much appreciated. And as I mentioned, I'll be live on Twitch later this evening and every single day throughout international break. Call of Duty, FC25, Ultimate Team, all of that kind of stuff. Link is in the bio of this video, or you can just go over to Twitch, type in Minafootball, and it will come up. So please do me a favor, go over to Twitch. Even if you ain't got an account, guys, make an account for me. Show me your commitment. Make an account and follow me on Twitch so that when I go live later this evening, you lot will get notified. Of course, tomorrow I will be back. We've got Daily Dose of Minna. We've got FC25, Make Man United Great Again. And we've got a call-in show coming this week as well. So make sure you turn on your post notifications. So when I go live, you will get notified, guys. I hope you have a wonderful Monday, inshallah. Much love to all of you guys. I'm out, guys. I hope to catch some of you lot on my Twitch stream later tonight. Peace.